disagree strenuously with the the kinds of cuts that we're making to transit in the metropolitan area, and the way the bill is structured to have a disproportionate and disparate impact on folks based on who they are or where they live. The impact that we're going to have on communities and people's ability to stay where they live, whether they be senior or disabled, the vitality that lends to all of our neighborhoods, people's ability to fully participate in our economic life, our ability to compete as a region is going to be fairly significantly negatively impacted, and that affects all of us. It doesn't just to simply affect those individuals. And we have the ability to do better. And the governor's position, we introduced the bill, shows how we can do better, and we can fund transit that has received so many cuts over the last number of years.
Further discussion, Senator Gimse.
Well, thank you, Madam President, and Senator Dibble, thank you for your comments, and certainly those comments that concern our disabled, our elderly, and our most needy citizens. Those calls have not gone unheard by this committee chair and by our committee. And I just want to assure you and other members of this body that we aren't going to go through this process, ask the Met Council, our rural transit providers, our urban transit providers to make these adjustments to these reduced funding and then walk away. I've already instructed my committee administrator to schedule our first hearing date for the next session to bring in these transit providers and tell us how they're dealing with these reductions and what the effects are. And I would also like to assure you that in the event that we are starting to hear from those most needy and those that are the most vulnerable, that they are not getting the services that they need, I can assure you that the Senate Transportation Committee will take a very vigorous and hard look at exactly how the Met Council is dealing with these. I think that we have left them with a whole host of other options than to put this on the backs of the most needy people in our communities and those that require this service. So I just want to give you that assurance, give the entire body the assurance that we are going to certainly make these reductions. We need to make these reductions, but we're not going to walk away from the people of the state of Minnesota because of this. We will be diligent and vigilant in making sure that those people that need the service the most, which really, when you really think about transit, what is the core mission? To provide for those who can't provide for themselves. That should be the core. That should be the #1 issue on the mission statement of all of these transit providers. So if that's the first thing that they cut, again, I would say that in the Senate Transportation Committee, they're going to find that we're going to be scrutinizing their activities. In conclusion, I guess I would like to thank the committee members and for their hard work. Senator Dibble is the lead. It's been good working with you, and I appreciate your input in all of the discussions. I would also like to thank Ms. Berezovsky and Ms. Boyd, who also worked for my predecessor, Senator Murphy. He put a lot of trust and commitment in them. We decided to do the same, and I'm glad we did. They have offered a lot to me, certainly, and to the committee when it comes to understanding transportation in the state of Minnesota, and I appreciate them very much. I would also like to thank Craig Sunday and also Patrick Murray, my committee administrator, for their hard work and their willingness to put together all of this and to help me and assist me and aid me in understanding it. And again, I appreciate them also very much. Finally, I'd like to just say that as far as all of the members of this body, there is a much different document out there on transportation. And I believe the document that if we pass this and we send to conference committee will send a clear message, a clear stance of how the Senate feels about transportation in Minnesota and what the level of responsibility and the level of reductions should be. I would love nothing more than to have the opportunity to represent the complete Minnesota Senate with this bill and have an understanding that while, yes, we do have to make some reductions, we can manage them, we can do it appropriately, and we can take a very strong position going into that conference committee. So